Just because they're not playing any games doesn't mean we can't talk a little football. It's never too early for that. Welcome to NFL Hot Topic. I'm Amber Wilson, and we welcome in senior NFL analyst Clark Judge to the program. And Clark, it's been the off-season of crime and punishment with Pac-Man Jones suspended for the year, Chris Henry suspended for at least 8 games, Tank Johnson's status still up in the air, and then there's Michael Vick, a water bottle that smelled like marijuana in the Miami airport, and now he sells a house where there's a suspected dogfighting ring. Is Michael Vick, Clark, the next to face the wrath of Roger Goodell?
Well, he already has faced his wrath, Amber. I mean, he was in the league office during the week of the draft, and Roger told him in those uncertain terms, listen, I want you to clean this mess up. You need to get straightened out. You're one of the faces of this league, and we need you. And so do the Atlanta Falcons. But Michael Vick's problem, more immediate problem, is not Roger Goodell or the Atlanta Falcons. It's Virginia authorities. They're looking for a possible connection between Michael Vick and the house in Virginia, in Smithfield, Virginia, where the dogfighting allegedly took place. Now, if there's a connection, believe me, the league's going to be interested, and so will the Atlanta Falcons. Owner Arthur Blank has a vested interest in Michael Vick. He's invested a lot of money in him. Michael Vick is the face of his franchise. He would like to see this thing go away and go away for the right reasons. He wants to see it resolved in the right way, and so does the league. But first, Virginia authorities have to get to the bottom of this. Remember, dogfighting's a felony in Virginia. That's a serious charge. Contrary to what Clinton Portis may believe, it's a very serious charge. So the Virginia authorities will look at this first, then turn it over to the league, and I would suspect Arthur Blank would get involved at that point too.
All right, Clark. Well, Randy Moss's problems have gone from off the field to on the field as he struggled in Oakland to put up the same numbers he did in Minnesota. Is this trade to New England and the partnership with Tom Brady going to bring us back the Randy Moss of old?
Well, it depends on whom you talk to, Amber. I mean, I've spoken to several general managers, personnel, directors, scouts who watched this guy last year, several of whom competed against him, and said, listen, this guy has nothing left. There's no passion for the game. He's hurt. He's got a bad knee. He can't practice. He's just not a productive player anymore, and his work ethic is awful. But I've also spoken to people who say, what's the risk here? I mean, they gave up a 4th-round draft pick for what? Maybe the best wide receiver in the game. He can be the best wide receiver if he thinks he can win, and he thinks he can win in New England. He's going there for a ring. And remember, New England has a history here. I mean, they brought in Corey Dillon, and he was a productive player, and he had some off-the-field issues and some character issues, much like Randy Moss does. But Corey Dillon straightened out. My difference right here between Corey Dillon and Randy Moss is that Corey Dillon was at the top of his game. Randy Moss really isn't, and he's also hurt. He hasn't had a productive season in 2 or 3 seasons. So the Patriots are banking on, with a winning environment, veteran players around him, and Tom Brady to throw him the ball, he can be the player he was in 2003.
All right, and Tom Brady landed Randy Moss on draft day, which really upset Brett Favre as the Packers failed to make a move to add a weapon to Green Bay's offense. What's the latest on Brett's imposition?
Well, Favre showed up for a minicamp, which to me was an accomplishment in and of itself. He's hurt. He's coming off of ankle surgery. He didn't need to be there. He wasn't expected to be there. But there's been so much off-season news involving Brett Favre. He felt it was necessary to show up, and he did, and he showed up to address some of the rumors, some of the innuendos about him and the team that have surfaced in the past few months and past few weeks. Most specifically, he wanted to address the idea that he wants to be traded or had asked to be traded. He said that's not true. I'm not sure where that came from. He also expressed his disappointment with the team that it didn't land Moss, and I can understand why. I mean, he wants as many weapons as he can. He's not a young quarterback anymore. He's been around for a long time. He wants to win now, and maybe, just maybe, Randy Moss gives him that chance. He would have liked to have had somebody brought in, but he doesn't have Randy Moss, and he understands that, and so does the rest of the club. I think he's fine with the rest of the club. I know several of the players have expressed the opinion that, hey, we're okay with Brett Favre, and they should be, because he's their meal ticket to success. But they've got problems beyond Randy Moss. It's no use talking about Randy Moss at this point. He's gone to New England. He's not a factor here. What we have to wonder about is what are they going to do for a cornerback? What are they going to do for a running back? And what are they going to do for another wide receiver? I think they're improved on the offensive line. I think they're improved defensively too, but Brett Favre needs some weapons, and Randy Moss isn't going to be here. So let's see what they do for a running back, and let's see what they do for another wide receiver.
All right, thanks, Clark, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching NFL Hot Topic. I'm Amber Wilson.